Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this video we are taking a look at Nvidia stocks. So let's take a look at the price action going in this coming week. What can we be expecting from Nvidia, guys? Can we continue higher, or are we going to sell off? Are we going back to $140, or are we possibly heading down to $117? What is the direction Nvidia can go in this coming week? So let's talk about all of that in this video from the lens of price action, the structure, and the technicals. Now, before going further, I also want to let you know none of this is any financial advice and it's only for education purposes. Please do your own thing. I'm just sharing here my opinion, nothing more than that. All right. So, couple of things to start off with on the daily interval. What are the things we are seeing that just draws our attention? And those are, we have higher pivots, okay, higher lows still. Yes, technically we can still talk about this as a higher low, technically, right? And a higher high. So it can be constituted that in the near term, we are still going in the higher highs, higher lows. Before we jump into the lower time frame, I just want you to remember though this little bit of a sell-off after the supply candle. All right, that when it tried to go up, it sold off. I'll talk about that in just a second. And then we have on the bigger structure, a little bit, if we little bit take ourselves out of this time horizon and a little bit in the past, you can see that we have a lower pivot. So technically overall structure is still bullish for these swing plays or what intraday plays have been coming in this structure, but as it's making its way for the previous retest, we still do have a lower pivot, and that's what usually constitute to the distribution phases. And that's why I have been saying to trade only intraday in this zone, because we are trading as in the zone of distribution most likely, and also because this is an untested supply zone that still has its influence in the zone of proximity. So, and since we are having another supply zone just below that, you have to keep this in your consideration, and that's why these have been mostly intraday plays, and then definitely some swing plays as well that my bot has given. But most of the time I have been saying just trade it intraday for these reasons, because you just never know until where can this go high up and where the supply zone would act again, right? So, but having said that, we do have to still see it from the lens of that we still have higher pivots. But so overall structure, right? But this, wow, so many buts I'm saying. All right, this blue box, the $128 area, 128 and 10 cents area, once we lose this, all right, we are losing then this pivot that Nvidia is trying to hold, and also for the reason that this next sell-off is coming just after this previous supply candle. So if I go to the hourly interval, and if you are aware about when I did a video back here on Nvidia, this is what I mentioned, that we can, one of the plays would be above 128 in the rebound only, if, and that will be until 131, and then next I would want to see if it can get above 50 hours moving average. It tried to go up but failed, and this also marks that okay, this was a rebound, as I was saying that this rebound is a possibility until this area of 131. It's like a zone, right? And then that was the play. So on intraday as well, we have this still a pivot, right? Now I'll go get to into the trading levels in just a second, and what in the price action I'm most looking for. But what I'm trying to first put a picture here is, even though the pivots, the strength is looking bullish, but at the same time we do have selling weakness or selling supply, selling pressure as well. All right, so that's, and pretty much again I'm repeating myself, but that's what it's all about. Distribution phase, you have to be very careful on either side. As one level is about to break, it can continue in that direction to the downside. Now or upside as well, right? Both ways. But let's go to my indicator first. I want to point you also to this the short volume data, and on this red big green, why am I saying green? Sorry, on this red huge candle, we had a quite a high short volume as well on a stock like Nvidia, that is 29%. So, and guys, the data before stock split is not going to reflect the actual reflection for the volume data. So just ignore that. This is post stock split is what you have to now focus on, the short volume data. 29 is quite huge. Anything, well, a stock like Nvidia, anything above 26 is definitely high. 29 is definitely outlier on Nvidia. So this supply zone, you can't miss this out. That just shows you that a lot of short sellers came in at that place on that red candle. So putting that together, right, with this short volume, with the little bit of a sell-off that we saw, right, we do have to be keeping in mind that yes, there is, as we lose the level, yes, there can be downside coming. So what is that to watch, right? So 140 going in this week, or 117, right? So it all comes down to, guys, this zone of blue box, which is 128 and above, to where it is right now, the price until 129 and 51 cents. If Nvidia can continue to hold these intraday pivots, all right, higher lows, higher highs, then sure, it can continue higher. But at this point, I would want to see it first above 50 hours moving average to get to see much more strength. Okay, anytime, if you, and for that you have to see on the lower time frame, where's the price action holding support and then breaking the consolidation to the upside, like double bottom. If it forms double bottom here or continues to stay up here, and then when the market is about to open, you don't see any sell-off candles in the first few minutes, and it starts to go higher, because the structure intraday is still technically holding a pivot, you can still try to trade it to the upside, right? But anytime if we lose this pivot area with 20 hours moving average, it's gonna go down. Now for the first day though, like that's Monday, right? I'm only comfortable in the short down to 200 hours moving average. That is likely possibility. It can hold it over there or go choppy again. That's for the downside case. But once we lose 200 hours moving average and we start to lose these levels like 125, the bottom box, right, or 126 even, because we already lost this pivot then, right, and 200 hours moving average, then 117, yes, it's a possibility. Why so? Also because if I go to the daily interval, once we start to lose those areas, right? Once we lose this pivot, that means the pivot is lost of the overall upside structure on the swing as well, and we lost 20 days moving average, and then it's very likely that we can be making our way down to 117 with this 50 days moving average, and then we'll see what the price action does there. But it all comes down to this zone of 20 days moving average, $128 level, and the early signs for this weakness would be losing this pivot zone, right, with 20 hours moving average. If we lose this, yes, you can be expecting 117 direction at least, right? For the upside, yeah, guys, as long as we can hold above 20 hours moving average, and during the early market open hours we see buying happening in this zone or staying up, right, yes, it can then continue higher technically, but take partial profits out. As I'm saying, that supply zone here that came with that high short volume percent as well, 29, and since we also have this on the from the top side, this lower pivot with strong red sell-offs and the supply zone, that tells me that sellers are sitting in this zone. So that's why I'm saying just trade it intraday. You may ask, junior trader, that when you are saying there's supply zone sitting here, then why do you trade long? Well, guys, because structure has been holding strong, right? Like all these plays intraday, these were long plays that I have been talking about, because you have to trade between. You have to first choose what is the time frame you are trading with. Are you trading swing or are you trading intraday? Because plans are different. If you ask So the swing play, one of the plays was down here, but that was for a couple of days until price gets back up here, right? And I talked about all of that in these pivots, right? And those were the plays with intradays and swing all the way up there. But now, since we get into the supply zone, the time horizon for that type of play is done then, right? Now also, so now it's not the time to do swing. Swing was here, right? And also intraday. Right now it's just intraday, not swing, in my opinion, because this is what is the state. This is how you trade in the distribution phase when you have the price retesting those supply zones, and then you are seeing a huge sell-off as well. So yeah, that's what is the distribution phase is all about, because you have 50-50 direction, and in this case, since we are already up in that supply zone again, the swing play is just not the game anymore. Intraday, yes, intraday still, because they are still on the lower time frame, on the lower time horizon as well. You are still able to play technically both up or down. Yes, up or down plays, long or short, but according to the levels, as long as those structures are holding. So this is what I'm helping you dissect these complications in these times. When the stock price is looking great, like upside, consolidations, these are, we don't have distribution phases here, we don't have supply zones here, these are just normal pullbacks, consolidations. These are the best times to trade. And this is the time when the price goes choppy, price goes in distribution phase. This is the time that you really, really master your skills of trading, because this is what teaches you how to trade, because this is what gets you on your toes on, okay, how to manage my portfolio properly, what type of trades I can take in this time horizon, intraday or swing, what else do I have to look for in the price action. And this is how you grow as a trader, right? So yes, market is complicated to trade, and I'm here to simplify this for you. And that's what I'm trying to do here, to explain you in the simplest way how to trade in these type of complicated structures, right? So yes, Nvidia right now is in a complicated structure, and that's why it's taking me time to explain you as well how to trade through this distribution phase based on intraday or swing, and what type of decisions to make. Again, decisions are yours. I'm just providing my opinion here, nothing more than that. And guys, that's all for this video. If you found it helpful, valuable, please hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next videos. Take care. Bye.